Hello. It seems that it's 715. It also seems that this patch has come with many quirks and many bugs that were not present on PTR, as is life when you push a patch from PTR over to live. First and foremost, this is likely going to be fixed very, very soon. However, we can just take a quick look at it right now because it's bugged right now in-game, but not currently in simulation. So the bug is revolving impending doom. So it currently reads that doom will deal damage 3 seconds faster, and it summons a 1 wild imp when it deals damage. So with that talented, you have it after 12.3 seconds it should deal damage. Now if you untalent it, doom deals after 14.4 seconds. So, just to show you the bug, you spec into impending doom, you cast Doom on the target, you stay in combat while it ticks away, and instead of it ticking when you see 2 seconds remaining on the bar here, doesn't tick, 14 seconds later, now it deals damage. There is the bug. It is currently happening in-game, but not in Simcraft. Any sim you see, any sim you do, as of right now, will be correct. In-game is not properly showing you and actually working properly. Now that that's out of the way. What other things have changed for Demo in 715? Synergy got kind of decimated, down to 25% from 35. All of your pets, by pets I mean your primary pets, so Felguard, Succubus, Voidwalker, Imp, Fellstalker, all of those pets, they got buffed by 20% damage. So they do 20% more damage, just flat out. And this also affects all of the Grimoire of Service pets, making this talent actually the best option and the go-to. The other change that happened to standard Demonology build is Demon Bolt. Got changed from damage increased by 20% for each demon to 18%. Not really that big of a deal. And finally, the last thing that changed that doesn't really affect anything too much is the fact that Demonic Circle now lasts 15 minutes instead of lasting whatever it was, 6 minutes before, I believe it was. So those are the major things that changed. The other thing that changed is Power Trip. It went from 50% to 65% chance. And Soul Harvest went from lasting 10 seconds base to 15 seconds base. And max being 30 to 35. Now that all of that stuff is out of the way, what basically changes for Demo? To put it bluntly, basically nothing. Yeah. There's essentially nothing that changes. The rotation will slightly change because of the fact that you're going to be using Grimoire of Service. Other than that, nothing really changes. The last major thing that really needs to be touched on is the fact that Thalkiel's Discord now completely rinses. Every time you cast Demon Bolt or Demon Wrath, it has a chance to proc Thalkiel's Discord. And this goes ham in AoE. Just bonkers crazy. It doesn't slow down, it just rinses. 100%. So, yeah. You don't even need Implosion anymore for Mythic Plus. You can just spam Demon Wrath, push Hog, and be successful. So that's the other thing that's really changed. And yeah, that's about it. I really don't know what else to say, other than the fact that I am currently working on a slightly newer project of mine that is probably more out there as of right now than it is, or than it used to be anyway. I've only started doing this for the last few days anyway. So let's see if I can pull this up here without it memeing me. Let's see. Is this gonna work? No? No? Alright, let's see. Oh, yay, it worked. Alright, so there you go. So this is my new website / project thing that I'm doing. Basically, it's just going to be a place where I can throw all the sims I'm doing, put it into one place, and have it so you guys can actually view the sim instead of just looking at a screenshot. it is very much a work in progress. The layout, the design, the everything about it is very much a work in progress. I initially started this project going to be focusing completely on demo, and after I kind of told some of the other theory crafters about it, some of the other contributors, they kind of said, "Hey, you should add these things on here too for these other specs." So it's kind of evolved since I kind of let it out into the open world for a little bit there, which is totally fine. That's absolutely fine. I kind of like that. So basically, this is just going to be a place where you can go to and see basically everything that I've done sim-wise or spreadsheeting-wise and blah, 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 all the boring stuff that is boring and boring. So that's one thing here. So the very first thing that you see here is the speculated best in slot setup for no legendary. So you can just look at it there. Shows you stat weights with that gear. Shows you your stat percentages, what gear you're using, if it's part of a set, what the weighted value of it is, the item level, the ID, everything. The only thing it doesn't show you is where the item drops from, but all of these items here drop out of the Nighthold Mythic raid, or Nighthold raid period. So you can just look for all that stuff in there. The second thing you can see here is tier. Tier is very important to a lot of people as well, so I figured I should probably do some sims on that. I included sims for single target, 2 targets, and 3 targets, and the gain for each set of tier that you gain. So going from 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 0 to 4 piece, the full gain, the whole kit and caboodle. If you're interested in seeing what this all looks like in full and examining the sim itself and the log, you can click on the links down below there and you can just see, there you go. Just shows you all the results and you can click on it and you can view it all and yada yada yada. You can see all the fun stuff and get bored of looking at SimCraft results. The next thing here is basically every single sim that people have ever wanted in their entire life, and probably more that they didn't think they wanted. So it's not complete just yet because specifically talent sims take 1700 years to run because there's many different talent combinations you can use, etc. A lot of these sims are technically suboptimal because they aren't using Mark of the Claw, which is buffed in 715 from proccing 500 haste and crit to 1000, making it more even with Satire, Mark of the Satyr, and a little bit better in full gear. So that's that. So it shows you every single talent combination for Demon Bolt, for Dark Glare, and for Soul Conduit. So as you can see here, for Demon Bolt, the number 1 option here is Demonic Calling, Improved Dreadsuckers, Hand of Doom, Grimoire of Service, and Demon Bolt. Followed very, very closely by the exact same thing, but with Power Torrent instead of Hand of Doom. And then everything else. So you can see it all there, just real quick. There you go. Same thing for Dark Glare, same thing for Soul Conduit. If you just quickly look at the very top result for each option, you can see here with Demon Bolt 648,033, Dark Glare 605,871, and Soul Conduit 627,120. So you can see just by looking at that, the best single target spec is the Demon Bolt one. So it's just an easy way to compare different talent combinations. It gave you every single one that you could possibly think of. We also have Nighthold trinkets here. Just shows you with no this is one single trinket equipped and one single trinket only plus the base gear set. So the base gear set with no trinkets and then each one individually and up and up and up and up and up. So that's that. If you're interested in seeing races for some reason and want to super min-max your races, that's also here as well. So you can see Orc, Troll, Goblin, blah blah blah. All that's there. Gnome, Human, everything else. That's also that. And then the more, I guess, interesting setups and the more interesting thing that people are confused slash worried slash whatever about are the legendaries. So there's single target, 2 target, 3 target, and this has been featured in a few different other videos I've seen or been talked about and all this other stuff, so this is probably stuff you've already seen. But it shows you single legendary for single target, 2 target, 3 target, and so on and so forth. Shows you the dual legendaries if you have 2 equipped for all the different setups. The only thing I didn't include is the fact that with Prides and Sifus and Organas and Pillar, specifically because they don't necessarily increase or modify actual spells and abilities you have. One thing I am working on is including Prides into the combinations because it's actually super dank. Who would have thought a neck piece with 1250 crit haste and mastery is good? That's very strange. Finally here we're coming down to the bottom of the demo stuff, so you can see relics and compare them from 880 all the way up to 910 with the different tier pieces. So this is with 0 pieces of tier. Big surprise here, firebolt damage, the firebolt, Infernal Furnace, rinses everything else. Big surprise there. With 2-piece, same thing, but Doom slightly gets better. And 4-piece, still Infernal Furnace, but the other 910 ones slowly creep up and up and up. So that's that. Nothing really new there. And then you can see here I've included balanced stat weights, so that just means that I took the total combination or the total of all secondary stats, add them all together, divided by 4, ran the sim, pressed the stat weight button, and you can see with 0 pieces, with 4 pieces for single, 2, and 3 targets. So this is using the gear set in the sim, not... it's using the gear set in the sim with tier turned on. So the actual gear it's using, all these stats here don't actually matter. None of that matters because the stats are actually overridden in Simcraft. So each stat has 5500, 5500, 5500. That's to make it balanced so that you can give yourself the best idea for that eye level with those tier pieces what the stat weight will be. These are the types of stat weights that get posted in Pawn, get put in Discord, all these things that people love obsessing over. So these are the types of things that you will typically look at. So going into Nighthold, for example, with 1 target, haste is still ridiculous, and then mastery, and then int and crit and verse. Basically, the secondary stat flip and change just made secondary stats even better compared to int, when I believe their intent was to do the opposite, but unfortunately they kind of failed at that, and now secondaries are even more important. So that's really all the things for demonology in here. There is a little bit of affliction stuff, barely anything for Destro yet. As I said, this is a work in progress. I'm going to work on getting trinkets updated, getting this little graphic here updated, because everyone loves graphs and things to look at that make them look pretty or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. People just like looking at things so they don't have to do it themselves. And this is kind of a area that is a little bit not quite fully functioning in. So as you can see, it's kind of a work in progress. It'll get better as time goes on and I have more time to do things. Yeah, that is about it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, of course I stream on Twitch every now and then. Usually it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Sunday, Monday if we are raiding those days as well. Randomly I'll stream as well if I'm doing Mythic Plus, so not shy, you can ask me any questions you want. It's probably the best way to do it. I've got Twitter, obviously, and YouTube as you're watching it on this. I've got this project website. I've got my own website. I've got Discord and guides galore and all these things. I just figured I'd probably put out something for 715 to put the masses at ease. That being said, I'm out. See you guys later.